Welcome back, everyone. My next guest is Nick Chavez, and he is a financial advisor and wealth manager with Confluent Asset Management. Welcome to the show. You first have to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do. Be careful there.
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm third generation financial advisor, and in terms of what I do, I like to keep it simple. I tell people I make you wealthy, I keep you wealthy, and I stress about your money for you.
Wow, I think that's wonderful. So let's go into some of these things. Before we talk about your firm at all, I just want to pick your brain as someone with 20 plus years in this industry. What is the single biggest problem you see that gets in the way of the average Joe building wealth? I got it out.
Honestly, the biggest issue, and this is going to sound kind of contradictory, there's way too much cookie cutter, bare minimum advice on the internet. And the reason I say it's kind of funny is because on one hand, the internet has made getting investment advice and learning about investing easier than ever before in human history, which I love. But it's all the same. It's very bare minimum, cookie cutter advice, which costs people money. It's track the S&P 500, index funds, save in your 401k, aim for an 8% return because that's moderate. Don't know who determined that. And that's costing people a lot of money because they don't know they're doing the bare minimum. They think they're going above and beyond, and then they're like, well, why am I not retiring until 70? I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do.
Well, also, people are different. So each person is individual, and that's where you come in. When you work with people, you do a complementary consultation?
That's correct.
Right, you have to do that. You have to get to know them. You said you work nationwide as well.
Yeah, our firm has the ability to work with everyone all over the nation. We've got clients in Connecticut, clients in California, some clients in Florida as well. And that's the beauty. Goes back to what I said about the internet. With the internet now, jump on a Zoom call and you can work with anyone anywhere.
Yeah, AI probably makes that also crazy too.
That's a whole other can of worms, and we only got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That'll be the next session.
I totally understand that. So now, I know some of our listeners have heard very smart people on TV say, just buy the next index. Keep it simple. The best you can do is track the market. I know I've heard that argument many times. You're clearly saying something different. How do you respond to that?
So, the tracking the market, buy the S&P 500, mimic the market, basically, and I want to be fair, you can build wealth off that. It's more than mathematically doable, and there's definitely worse things you can be doing, but again, it's the bare minimum, and it has some inherent flaws in it that get in the way of people being able to seriously build wealth. The biggest issue is when you look at the S&P 500, just the 500 largest companies in America, you think, oh, this is good. These are the 500 biggest companies. These are good investments. Truth of the matter is only the top 100 are actually responsible for the majority of the growth. The other 400 just drag the growth down. And so if you're a guy just buying the S&P 500, you're getting these returns, you're like, why is this taking me so long to build money? Well, you got 400 investments that are dragging you down. That's why. And if all you're doing is just buying the S&P, which is what everyone is hearing online and on the news, you're really slowing down your growth. You're throwing a lot of good money at bad. That's why we're here to try to parse that out, get away from the index investing, and actually optimize your portfolio.
I didn't ask you this before, but I'm going to ask you this now. Do you do second opinions?
Yeah, we do second opinions. We do all sorts of analysis. In fact, if you don't mind me going on a quick side journey here.
I'm fine with that. I love it.
I just had a second opinion with someone we just made a client. He really highlights what I was talking about, people being dragged down and they're wondering why am I behind for doing everything right. 47 years old, been saving his money. He's been doing everything he was told to do, but he's getting very mediocre returns. And at the rate he was going, when he retires in 15 years, he's only going to have about $800,000 saved, based upon the projections we did. Now, $800,000, that seems like a lot of money, and it is, but imagine being 65. There's a good chance you're going to live to 85.
Or more.
Or more, yeah. That $800,000 doesn't sound very much, doesn't sound like a whole lot. So we did the math, we saw everything. He had so much redundancy, so much inefficiency. So what we did, we ran a proposal saying, look, this is what we can do. This is what an actual optimized portfolio looks like. Now he's going to be on track, assuming he keeps doing what we said we do and we keep doing what we're going to be doing, with around about 1.1 to 1.2 million at the end of the 15 years. So we're looking about an extra $400,000.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
The website is Confluent Asset Management.com.
Mm-hmm.
The phone number is 623-200-2207. Okay, here we go. So was that the example that you were going to give?
It was.
Okay, so we're going to go to the next one. So it sounds like you have a solid system in place on paper, but can you give me a real life? Is that the next one it's going to be? Okay, so, well, let's talk about something else though, because a lot of people that are listening, this is the first time they're hearing you, and I will have to say, and I'm not even sure how old you are, it doesn't really matter, but I know you're probably younger than me, all right? I think today there's a lot of people who have had financial advisors for a long time. And the way that we're doing things today, the whole world has changed.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important that when you hear this is what I love about my show the most, is when you hear this information, you hear other people, a little bit of the younger people of how we're doing things today. It's very important, and that's why I asked if you do second opinions, because they might be listening going, and they even might already have a financial advisor, but that financial advisor might be a little bit older, maybe even might, I hate to say this, pass away while they're still going, What are your thoughts on what I just
No, that's a very legitimate concern, and you're 100% right. And if you've got a guy that you've had for years and you love him, that's great. You've had him since you were 30, you grew up together. Now you're thinking, hey, I want my kids to be taken care of because I'm not going to be around that much longer. You look at your guy, he's the same age as you.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to retire in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Or God forbid, like you said, something happens and he passes. At the end of the day, when it comes to data, because a lot of people think experience is important, and it is, but it's more than just my own experience. It's 70 plus years of data and information and just objective mathematical truth. That's true regardless of how old or how experienced you are.
Mm-hmm.
You're ultimately going to want someone that you know, hey, 5 years from now, is he still going to be here? Because if I'm retired, my money still needs to be managed. I'm probably going to live another 20 years, if I'm healthy. I need a guy that I know is going to be here 20 years from now. And again, not to speak ill of the experienced older advisor.
No, it's not about that.
Yeah, he's great. He deserves to retire too.
But also, just in general, the world has changed.
Mm-hmm.
The way we do things, being on the internet, understanding how to maneuver some of the wealth that you have, right? So you can call him. His number is 623-200-2207. It's Confluent Asset Management.com. He works nationwide, and they do complimentary consultations. So, okay, that double-digit outperformance sounds incredible, but the natural follow-up, I can't read today. Most people are thinking higher returns usually means higher risk, right? Right?
Right. So next time I'll use a different font, easier to read.
You got to. Or shorter questions.
Sure, no, that's fair. But no, a lot of people do see our returns, and a little bit of boasting. Our returns just came out yesterday, and right now our large cap strategy is doing 31% year to date. A lot of people look at that like, Nick, you got to be doing something really risky. Not really. People are so used to mediocre returns because of mediocre advice, they don't know what actual optimized returns look like. Because again, they're so used to the 400 dragging it down. Get rid of the 400, put in an actual actively managed strategy where there's ways to, read the room, take advantage of the opportunity the market's giving you. Because there's always there's always opportunity in the market, even if there's a recession. You just got to look for it. Once you actually start having that in place and just getting rid of, again, the 400 losers that aren't giving you anything, it's amazing how well that improves the returns once you get something actually optimized.
So I want to ask you about something that I think most people have heard but don't fully understand. I hope this is not the same one. The word fiduciary, okay? You are a fiduciary firm with salaried advisors. What does that actually mean for someone who's sitting in their car right now listening to my show?
So I'll keep this brief and try not to turn into a legal lecture. But fiduciary means we are by law required to act in your best interest in everything. That's why we can't make a commission. Everything we have to do has to be in your best interest. And the reason why that is so important, and I won't name names, but you've heard of the firms, you know that the big firms out there, they are not fiduciaries. They do not have to act in your best interest. They only have to do what is suitable, which is radically different, and it opens up a whole can of worms for conflict of interest. So it means, yeah, they can sell you something, make a huge commission off it if there's just a better alternative for you that would have been in your best interest. With us, we don't have that conflict.
Well, I think the first thing that people should do, there's a lot of people that are a little bit worried with, the world the way it is right now, especially the market. It's good one day, down, it's up and down, it's crazy. But they do complementary consultations. Have a talk with them and see how they can help, because you need the money managed. That's what it's really about. Again, their phone number is 623-200-2207. You can check them out on their website, which is Confluent Asset Management.com. What are your final words, real quick?
Don't wait. Every year you wait can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can't afford to wait.
623-200-2207. Check them out on the website. It is confluentassetmanagement.com.